your American dream?
My American dream is to grapple with our histories and really discuss it and embody policy and a society that has moved past those, but with a lot of understanding of what has come before, because I think oftentimes we think of change as being important but not really thinking about how that is systemically, intrinsically involved in everyday life. And I think that's what I fight for and what I hope for is really getting to the root of these injustices and thinking about that. So that, I guess that's my American dream. And one where being a nerd is also really acceptable.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. And we are back. It was like I just left here 22 hours ago.
It feels like I was just here.
22 hours ago, you were. And you asked for it, Yonathan, so you're getting it.
Yeah.
Another Brad Show Live. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome, That's Quick. How are you?
I'm doing great. What about you boys? How are you feeling today?
Wonderful,
Amazing.
wonderful. Jonathan texted me. He goes, yesterday's show was so much fun. Can we do it again tomorrow? So I said, Yonathan, you asked for it. Yes, of course.
He granted my wish, guys.
Of course we can do it tomorrow.
It was fun.
That's a lot of the wish. That's a lot of the squad's wish.
Yes, Yonathan always likes the hump day. Yesterday being a special hump,
special
hump day the 13th.
Hump day the 13th.
That still makes me laugh. And how you doing, Vanessa?
I'm actually still not over yesterday. I'm one of those people that when I record, I don't like to watch myself over. It's just a thing. But yesterday's show is definitely a replay type.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I will be honest with you. I don't watch the full show. Mm-hmm. But when I go to bed at night, and I'm lying in bed, and I can't just, I have a full day. I'm like energy all day long. Yeah. And I go out after, and I get into bed. It's 11:30 midnight. I just can't be like, okay, ready to go to sleep. Right. So I will tell you the truth. I sneak a peek like 5:10. I'll go to different parts. Like I won't watch the whole thing. I'll kind of go around like, oh, I want to see this part again. I want to see that part. So I do watch about 10, 15 minutes a show.
Oh, can I say something?
Yes.
Hey, Brad, at midnight. Let's see if you're going to laugh.
1 second. Let me check. I just got to leave a note. Remember, at 8 minutes, Yonathan, I will send you a text. Yeah. Hey! All right, that was funny. Let's go say hello to the squad. Celia Enot, squad up. How are you? Christy Consali. Hello, everybody. Maureen McFarland, squad up. Terry Faith, squad up. Christy Consali. Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Abadoum Jamo saying squad up, everybody. Willie L. Williams. Where's Willie L. Williams been all week?
Right.
Haven't seen him. Matt, welcome back, Willie. Not that we were missing you, but we were missing you a little bit, right?
Uh-oh.
Right?
Yeah, we have, but I'm seeing something up in this comments. I'm going to wait till you get there.
All right. Well, you can mention it. What do you see?
Ali Serrano, she got a little smirk and little kitten heart eyes asking, Brad, you single?
I am. I am. I am.
Pre-comment of the day.
Watch me now.
Yeah,
choke
right.
To death.
Ali, you got him blushing.
And watch me choke to death now. Yes, I am single. Newly single.
Yes.
Newly minted single.
Yes.
Yes. Not recently single.
Recently single.
Recently single. Christy Consali, how are you? Carol, there you have it. Carol Anderson, the Tigers, squad up. Jessica Levy, how are you? Chetty Manbordi, squad up, how are you? Deb Basau. And Tigo Goddess, squad up, how are you? Ma Dukes. And Caston Redwood Jr. saying hello, everybody. And Al Serrano, how are you as well? Let's see what's going on YouTube. Riz Ali, hello, sir. Hello to you, sir, as well. And B. Wilson, squad up. Ali Ikram, squad up. How are you? Elseni Kamara. Hey, Brad, how you guys doing? Asila Enot's double fisting. B. Wilson with the pre-question.
Pre-question of the day.
Pre-schmooze question of the day. My N400 interview is coming up. Will it be a problem if I still have my out-of-state driver's license? Well, you have to be living in the state where you filed 90 days before your interview. So if you have a driver's license from another state, that is a little evidence saying maybe you don't live in the state where you claim, because you have to be domiciled. Domicile is what is your legal address. Now, you may be paying your taxes there. You may be there, and it may not be a problem at all. They may not even recognize it, or ask for your driver's license. But be smart. Don't delay your citizenship over dumb stuff. Just go get a driver's license in the state where you're living. Okay?
Yep.
Right. Daily Wiser, how are you? Minnie Morgan. Ginger Juice, I like that name. E.T.
Hey.
E.T. E.T., but not extraterrestrial.
I was about to say.
It's E.T.
I was gonna take it there.
Yeah, and says, you all got Brad turning red today. You're right. You are right.
Yes.
You want to see a red Uncle Brad? Keep making those comments. All right, let's take it away, Yonathan and Vanessa.
Absolutely. All right, squad, you already know what time it is. It's time to share with everyone and all over your social media platforms. All right, we're on YouTube and we're on Facebook right now, so I need you guys to just copy that link or press that little arrow button and share it to all your friends and family. It's super easy. All right, that's the only way we could get the show out is through you, because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad, talking headlines, including the news that Biden administration is defending a Trump-era H-1B visa wage rule.
And it's Thursday, squad, so time to span the globe for some wacky stories, including a stop in Bosnia to visit the one-of-a-kind home a man made for his wife.
And, of course, you can always call us at 1-800-529-5465. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Yes.
The lines are open now. So if you call, you will get to ask your question of me live in about 15, 20 minutes or so. If you wait 15, 20 minutes for me to say, now we're ready for meat and potatoes, lines are locked. You're not going to be able to get through. Call right now, 1-800-529-5465. Outside of the United States, it's +1 212-227-8933. It is also the same telephone number to our sponsor law offices of Spar and Bernstein. And after we schmooze, after I answer your immigration questions and Yo-Yo and Nesquik scour the comments on Facebook and YouTube for the best issues, questions, and problems of the day, we will be later in the show. We will join Yonathan out on the streets.
Oh.
Post-COVID interview.
Look
at that, with the mask, out on the streets as he quizzes people in a game of Hispanic Heritage Month Trivia. Yes, 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 yes. We are back out on the streets of New York City shooting games. Not shooting games physically.
Right.
We're shooting it with a camera.
Yes.
And you won't want to miss this, even though we are still talking to people on the street. Again, please contact us if you want to participate in Squad vs. Crew.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot promise you. I did throw it out there yesterday that the winner would be perhaps Jeff Bezos should invite the winner of the next Squad vs. Crew on his hump day spaceship, but we'll see if he was watching.
Right.
I can't promise you you'll get on the spaceship, but you'll have a good time anyway.
We can manifest it. Put it out in the universe.
Put it out in the universe. You never know. Right?
Right.
You don't ask, you don't get.
There you go. I learned that today.
There you go, right? Right, Vanessa? Nobody gives you anything unless you ask for it. Jeff Bezos, the next winner of Squad vs. Crew, put him on your spaceship. There you go. All right, you ready for schmoozing?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so You guys know what the H-1B visa is? We don't talk about it a lot on our show.
We don't. I remember us talking about it.
Yeah, it is the professional work visa. It's the specialized work visa. It's the most basic work visa you would get if you are a graduate of a university and working in a specialized job. The way they define what a specialized job is, do you have the equivalent of a university degree? And are you working in a job that requires, the minimum requirements are a university degree? And if you have those two things, a equivalent of a university degree, the minimum requirements for the job require a university degree, that would be a specialized job that would allow you to apply for an H-1B visa. For example, okay, you may have a, and you have to be working in a job, by the way, that's related to your degree. So there's three requirements. I forgot to add that. I might as well add all three.
Okay.
Okay. One is you have a college degree or equivalent. You're working in a job that has the minimum requirements require a college degree. And number three, you're working in a job that's related to your education. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, Yonathan, you go to university. What did you study at university?
Mass Communication Media Studies.
Mass Communication Media Studies. Okay, and let's assume your parents never immigrated from America and you're born in Africa and you have this degree in Mass Communication Studies. And you get a job as a computer analyst in America.
Okay.
You would not be able to get an H-1B visa because your job has nothing to do with your education.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is how the H-1B visa works. Now, let's say you get a job working at NBC television as a producer. Well, yes, the minimum requirements of a job for a producer at NBC television would be a university degree.
Yes.
You have a university degree and it relates to your job. So you would be able to get a job on an H-1B like that.
Ah.
Okay. And I'll give you one more example.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say you have a job, you have a degree as a botanist. Botanist is somebody who studies flowers.
Flowers, yes.
Okay. And you get a job working in a flower shop putting flowers in a vase. I got this job. I'm the guy who puts the flowers in the vase, or the woman who puts the flowers in the vase. I make the vase of flowers, and it gets sent off. I have this degree in botany. The degree is related to flowers.
Yes.
But guess what?
What?
Putting flowers in a vase doesn't require a college degree. So you wouldn't get an H-1B visa that way either. So that's kind of how the H-1B visa works. You need all three. Okay?
Wow.
And then the employer has to be willing to offer you a job at the prevailing wage of similarly employed workers. So you can't come here and work as a producer and make $15 an hour, because producers make more than $15 an hour, presumably. All right. So now,
really sticky for people, Brad, because being consistent in all three of those areas, in those simple examples you just gave, it's not easy.
It is not. Now, most of the H-1B visas are going to computer-related jobs. More than 50% go to computer-related jobs. People with mathematical and computer-related degrees working in IT. Now, on Monday, just last year, this year actually, there were, for the fiscal year 2022, there were 308,000 applications filed for H-1B visas. Okay, it's a lot of work visas filed.
Yeah.
They only give out 85,000. So out of the 308,000 H-1B applications for fiscal year 2022, which is now, that would be last year's applications, because fiscal year 2022, if you've been following Bradshaw Live, fiscal year 2022 started 2 weeks ago, October 1st, 2021. 308,000 applications filed for 85,000 spots. Now, the way they do it is they give 20,000 H-1B visas to, the first 20,000 go to people with master's degrees. So out of those 308,000 people, let's say 50,000 people with master's degrees are out in that group of 308,000 people. They're going to do a lottery. They do a lottery literally, Yolanda Vega, like in Powerball or the New York State Lottery, where they literally pick things out of a hat, or maybe
That's
a computer
how they do
does it. I don't think they do it out of a hat anymore,
Well,
but it's a computer does it. But they do a
There'll be a lot of
lottery.
paper.
There'd be a lot of paper if it was out of a hat. But so they pick 20 out of 50,000. The 30,000 people. I'm making numbers up. I don't know what the exact number of master's degree people out of that 308,000.
But it is 20,000.
20,000 only. Then let's say you didn't get, as a master's degree candidate, you did not get into that first 20,000. Then the last 30,000 would go into the group of 288,000 for the last 65,000 visas. So I mean, literally, out of 85,000, 816, if you have a bachelor's degree, you probably had a 1 in 10 chance or a 1 in 9 chance of getting an H-1B visa. With a master's degree, we don't know how many people with master's degrees filed. I don't know that statistic, but probably a 1 in 2 chance, somewhere in there, of getting an H-1B visa. They only give 65,000 out for a country which is the largest economy in the world. Still, much bigger economy than China. Okay, with 300 plus million people, 65,000 professional work visas a year. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. Okay, now, before Donald Trump left office, he changed the rules. He had this pumpkin for H-1B visas. He changed the rules and made it so difficult to get an H-1B visa that almost 24% of the initial H-1B visa applications that were filed under Donald Trump's presidency were denied.
Wow.
Versus, compared to 2015 with Obama, 6%. So he really made it much more difficult to get an H-1B visa. He didn't want professional workers coming here. He didn't want anybody coming here.
Isn't that what you would want in
No,
country?
it's not. It's not what you would want. Now, one of the other things that he did, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's now back in the news again. One of the other things that he did was that he had the Department of Labor make a rule. And the rule is, and it hasn't passed yet, this rule, that instead of doing this lottery, which we just talked about, they're going to now decide on the 85,000 people out of, let's say, 300,000 that apply. The highest paid of the 300,000 will now get the visa.
Oh my God!
So it will be a race to the top. How much can you offer somebody in pay as an American company to get that person in the top 85,000? That was a proposed rule by the Department of Labor. It was never went into effect because there were a bunch of different groups that sued the Department of Labor and said that you're violating people's rights and the rules and everything else. And it's been kind of caught up in court. Well, on Monday, the Biden administration weighed in on this. And they agreed with Donald Trump. And they're asking the court to uphold the Department of Labor's new rule that says that we're going to do it based on highest wage first. Now, the Department of Labor would raise the lowest possible. They say they're raising wages. But, according to most experts, what would happen, and what's happening now with H-1B visas, is that American companies are just outsourcing their work outside of the United States and not having workers literally come into the United States of America. And it actually causes the economy to be reduced, not to be increased. Because they're now setting shops up in other countries rather than setting up employment here in America. So it's a huge, huge problem. Now, Stuart Anderson, the executive director of it, so I'm surprised that Biden's doing this. So that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, I am too.
Now, Stuart Anderson, the executive director of the National Foundation for American Policy, which is a nonpartisan policy research organization focusing on trade, immigration-related issues, he wrote recently in Forbes magazine that if the Biden administration enacts the policy changes to H-1B visas, the changes will not be positive for employers. It would affect regulations on who can receive H-1B visas, how much employers pay. He said H-1B visas are important because they generally represent the only practical way for high-skilled foreign nationals, including international students, to work long-term in the United States and have the chance to become employment-based immigrants and U.S. citizens. In short, H-1B visas, nearly everyone from the founders of billion-dollar companies to the people responsible for the vaccines and the medical care saving American lives would never have been in the United States. Can you imagine? You know, the founders of Google.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So now, and by the way, you know who it really affects? People on student visas. Because people on student visas who are here in the United States, how stupid is this in the United States of America? We, have a cap and now do the cap based on highest salary.
Right.
When you get out of college,
you're not getting
the highest salary. You're getting entry-level salary. So the United States spends their time and their resources and their efforts educating people and then saying, sorry, you can't work here, you got to go home.
That's wild.
Crazy,
That's
right?
wild.
Crazy. Let's see if there's anything else here that's interesting in my cards. No, that's about it.
You hit the points.
You get the point.
Yeah.
So hopefully, when we're talking about immigration reform, part of immigration reform has to be part of H-1B reform too. We don't talk about it enough. We're talking about amnesties. We're talking about, but there's a problem with getting high-skilled workers into the United States. And I just read a statistic recently that there's over 1 million open jobs for computer-related jobs in America right now, in the United States of America.
Wow.
That can't be filled. And we're offering, out of a country of 300 and how many people? 20 million, 350 million, whatever we got here. We give 65,000 visas, and everyone's concerned that these people are going to ruin the economy. 65,000 people, 85,000. I'd say 85,000 people. Excuse me, 85,000 people.
That don't change nothing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the committee investigating the January 6th Capitol Hill riot, the insurrection. I wouldn't call it a riot. Would you call it a riot or insurrection?
Definitely insurrection.
Insurrection. They announced today that they're going to hold Donald Trump's ally Steve Bannon in criminal contempt for refusing to comply with the subpoena. Now, Bannon was Trump's original presidential election back in 2016. He was the original guy who ran Trump's presidential election. And then he was pushed aside. He was in the White House. And then eventually he had an outside role. And he's been an outside key advisor to Donald Trump throughout his entire political career. And this guy runs a way right of any place that anybody would ever want to be, news organization, that gives a lot of, fake news in favor of the pumpkin. So the Congress is concerned, and by the way, it's a bipartisan congressional committee. There are Republicans on this committee as well. And they have concerns that Steve Bannon was advising Donald Trump on how to organize this insurrection. And they want him to come and testify about what he knows. Now, Bannon has already not testified during both impeachments, although he was requested to do so by subpoena. He ignored it. And you want to know what happened to him when he ignored it?
What?
Nothing.
See?
So that's why he's ignoring it now. But we have a difference, Vanessa. Do you know what the difference is, Vanessa, between what could happen to him now versus why nothing happened to him?
Because the president ain't saving him?
Correct. Correct. Because if he avoids a subpoena by Congress,
right,
it's up to the president of the United States. It is the president of the United States, his job, or her job, if it ever becomes a woman, is to enforce laws. That's what the president's job is. Congress makes laws, presidents enforce laws.
What made him think that he was going to be safe this time?
So Congress gave a subpoena, he ignored it, and during the impeachment, Trump's not going to enforce that subpoena.
Right.
So just ignored it. Forget it. You don't have to come testify. But now we have President Biden. And we have a bipartisan congressional committee who has subpoenaed Steve Bannon. And now it is up to President Biden and the Justice Department, who's run by Merrick Garland, to now prosecute a man who is avoiding a subpoena by Congress. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It'll be very, very interesting. And Donald Trump has to give a deposition. Yeah,
Ooh.
that'll be very interesting too. Yeah, during I don't know when this happened, but it happened this happened in 2015. There was a demonstration by a group of people in front of Trump Tower in 2015 when Donald Trump was running for president, and they were protesting his words and his speeches, calling Mexicans rapists and criminals, and saying that was not fair to lump all Mexicans as rapists and criminals. All right, there may be a rapist and criminal from Mexico. There's also rapists and criminals in the United States. There's also rapists and criminals in Norway. There's also rapists and criminals everywhere. But you can't lump a whole entire country as that.
Yeah.
And they were demonstrating, and one of the demonstrators was requested to leave the premises by a Trump security guard. And the demonstrator wouldn't leave. And the Trump security guard tried to grab one of their signs.
Oh.
You know, whatever the sign said. You're a pumpkin, Trump, or whatever the sign said. And the demonstrator wouldn't let go of it. And then because he wouldn't let go of it, he got beat up by the Trump security guard. So now there is a lawsuit against the Trump organization.
Ooh.
There's a lawsuit against the Trump organization. Donald Trump has been avoiding testifying in this lawsuit for, what are we now, 7 years? Okay. Finally, all the appeals are exhausted. He's no longer president, so he can't have executive privilege. And every appellate judge has said he has to come testify. And what does he have to testify? What does he know about this? Did he tell a security guard to go do this to this protester? How did this security guard get the order to go down to the street, rip the sign out, and beat this protester up?
Yeah.
Because he was beat up by a Trump security guard. Who gave that order? And Donald Trump now has to sit for a video deposition next week about that. So I think that's pretty interesting.
That is.
Right?
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And William Shatner, he went into space, right? We saw that yesterday. That was the big news.
Yes.
Right? And Prince William, he's criticized all of the billionaires for going into space. All of them. Richard Branson, he's criticized Jeff Bezos, he's criticized Elon Musk of Tesla. He says they're spending the money in the wrong way. Instead of searching for the existence of life in space or searching space to go to Mars or wherever they want to go, they should be spending their money saving planet Earth. And you want to know what? He happens to be right.
He does.
He happens to be 100% right.
I'm actually happy he said that.
Why are all these billionaires fighting each other to be able to go to Mars? What the heck's happening on Mars? Nobody's living on Mars. Okay.
Honestly, to me, it's just a pissing contest, and nobody's running out of piss. That's what it is to me.
And if you want to really spend your money well, you want spend it on Earth,
right?
And save planet Earth. Our planet is warming up by the moment. And by the way, I am sure this Hump Day, the 13th rocket, is not carbon neutral, based on all of the all of that fire coming out of its.
You would think.
Yeah. Now,
I'm happy you said that.
There's a Swedish millionaire by the name of Johan Eliash. He bought 400,000 acres of Amazon rainforest. Now, here's a guy who's doing something to help planet Earth. He's not building. He's not building a spaceship. He's saving our planet.
See?
Right? He bought this property in Amazon for $14 million from a logging company. So there was a logging company that would have ultimately ripped down all of the trees in this area had he not bought the property from them.
14 million.
Yeah, now 14 million is nothing to a billionaire.
Yeah.
Right? Now, according to fact-check site Snopes, the $14 million amount is undetermined because Eliash has not really revealed the price of the purchase. The $14 million is being circulated around the internet on a meme. But now, according to numerous reports from 2005, Eliash did buy these 400,000 acres of rainforest. According to the Wall Street Journal, he bought a plywood plant owned by a logging company, Gethel Amazonas, and acquired the title to many acres of forest land. He said in an interview in The Guardian, which is from the UK, I closed the forestry operation down and laid off 1,000 people to protect the forest. He says, now we get to the heart of the problem. It's an interesting dilemma. You have about 8 million people in the Amazon forest, 7.99 million of whom are poor. They need the jobs. So how do they get employed? Cutting trees. But people still have to eat. So if you fire them, surely they will log illegally. No, I have security people to control things, but honestly, you can't secure everything. Now, I wonder what he's doing, though, to help the poor people eat.
Since he took their jobs.
So he's helping.
Sure he's got to figure something out.
He's got to figure something out there.
Yeah.
I mean, because it can't be that costly to a billionaire to feed somebody.
Well, 8 million people? I don't know.
Well, apparently he gave them severance packages, according to Jill. I don't see it here in my cards, but apparently he gave them money.
Yeah, and in the end, he has this entire land now, and it's a matter of like who's going to maintain this land. It's not going to be this gentleman.
But if you can buy, he gave the farm workers, by the way, generous severance packages. At least that's what he claims. Now, if you can buy 400,000 acres of Amazon rainforest for $14 million, surely Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Richard Branson can put together $5 or $10 billion to buy the whole freaking rainforest.
Yeah.
And then and give all the people in the Amazon enough money to live and eat.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have that money. And it wouldn't put a dent.
Yeah.
Wouldn't put a dent in their savings. So Jeff Bezos, the winner of the next crew versus squad contest, whenever that will be. We don't want your freaking spaceship anymore. We want you to make a donation in honor of Bradshaw Live and the winner of the crew versus squad game to save the Amazon rainforest, which is really what you should be doing, damn it.
Here.
Right?
Here.
Yeah. Tell him, Brad.
Yeah. And you want to know what, Vanessa? You don't ask, you don't get. So we're telling them what to do. All right. And coronavirus. And by the way, there's some memes. Let's see. Geriatric Millen said in a meme, your turn to purchase land to stop deforestation. And Caroline said, yes, no more wasting your money. So, I mean, people on the internet, we're not just saying this. This is coming right from the internet.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe if enough people on the internet
got to keep on saying
it, maybe they'll start doing it.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, in coronavirus news, 44.6 million confirmed coronavirus cases. There's an interesting article in the New York Times today. It said, when we had our first lockdown last winter, everyone's concerned about lockdown in the winter because, especially in the Northeast and, across the northern states, that it's going to be cold, everyone's going to be inside, and coronavirus is going to, go flying around inside. That's how most people get sick. But there's an interesting article in the New York Times today that was saying that because more than 70% of the United States population is either already contracted COVID or is vaccinated against COVID, more than 70% now. And they're now going to start to allow children ages 5 and up to get vaccinated very shortly. The jury is out. There are some experts who are saying we still have to be very wary. We could have another outbreak of coronavirus. And there's others that are saying maybe the worst is behind us. What do you think, Vanessa? If you're using your scientific intuition.
Oh, jeez.
Scientific intuition.
One, I haven't fully developed that one.
You haven't.
I've told you guys before. I feel like it's never fully gonna go away. We just work around it and see what we can get. But I have no take on this, honestly. I'm just taking it day by day.
Now, scientists, the ones who say you still got to worry, Britain and Israel have higher vaccination rates, and they're still struggling with outbreaks. But many scientists say, you know what? Maybe the worst is behind us. I hope so. I don't know what to believe, but we obviously all still have to be.
Very is behind us, though. Like the fact that we had no solution, or that the world had to shut down because we had literally no idea what was going on. That is the very worst.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the scientists who said the worst is behind us are right. Regardless, we all have to still be careful until we know all the facts.
Absolutely.
All right, you ready to span the world?
Let's do it.
So a woman was sleeping in her home in Canada. We're going to start in Canada.
Okay.
And she's thanking her lucky stars, literally, after narrowly avoiding a meteorite that slammed into her pillow while she was sleeping.
What?
Yes, slammed into her pillow, but missed her head by obviously inches.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine you're sleeping and a meteorite just goes flying through your house into your bed?
Are you serious?
Wow. See, this is a wacky. We're off to a good start here.
This is wacky. What? Yeah, the Victorian News reported that Ruth Hamilton was snoozing in her home in Golden, a town in southeastern British Columbia, on October 4th, when she heard a crash and felt debris on her face.
Oh my gosh.
She jumped up, turned on the light, couldn't figure out what the heck has happened. Police officer responded to her 911 call, wondered if the jagged object that landed on her pillow might have come from a construction project. We called the Canyon Project, said the police, to see if they were doing any blasting, and they weren't. But they did say they had seen a bright light in the sky that exploded and caused some booms. According to this woman, her name is Hamilton, she said, I was shaking and scared when it happened. I thought someone had jumped in, or it was a gun or something. It's almost a relief when we realized it could have only fallen out of the sky. She said, the only thing I can think of is saying is life is precious. It could be gone at any moment, even when you think you're safe and secure in your bed. I hope I never, ever have to take it for granted again.
Wow.
That's crazy. You know what that reminds me of? That movie, Robin Williams movie. I didn't even like the movie, but it just reminds me of the movie, The World According to Garp. It was an old Robin Williams movie, and he goes to buy a house with his wife, and right before he buys a house, the plane goes crashing into the house.
Oh.
And the wife says, I don't want this house. Right. It's crazy. He goes, no, we want this house. What are the odds another plane is ever going to crash in this house? We are completely safe here. And so I think this woman, Miss Hamilton, is like Robin Williams. What are the odds another meteorite's going to come crash the house?
Never know.
She is safe in that house now.
Listen.
The worst has already happened.
The worst has already happened, exactly. Meanwhile, seeking to please his wife, this is quite ridiculous. A man is really trying to help his wife out here and please him. She wished to have a more diversified view from their family house. So a Bosnian self-taught innovator has built a rotating house.
What? Allowing
her to watch the rising sun in one moment, and then once the sun rises, to turn the house so she could watch the people walk by on the street. That's ridiculous. He says, I got tired of my wife's complaints.
That's hilarious. That part is actually hilarious.
I'm going to tell you something. She had to be complaining a lot for him to do this.
Wow. That's actually pretty dope,
And frequently refurbishing of our family house. And I said, I'll build you a rotating house so you can spin it as you wish. Would that get you dizzy? Would that get you dizzy?
Motion sickness.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was a restaurant in Times Square at the Marriott Marquis, and it circles around.
But you don't feel it.
You don't feel it. It's really slow, but you know
that
what?
That one looks kind of fast.
Yeah, that one looks a lot fast. You know, I'm thinking like I'm like trying to eat some cereal, and the spoon is like, stop rotating
I don't think
the
it goes
house.
that fast.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it's going that fast? You throw up.
Yeah, no. I think it's actually a really dope idea if it goes super slow, and then you probably can like.
What would happen if you're in the shower and he just turns on the house and starts spinning like that? You go flying, the water's like all over the place.
I mean,
that'd be a bad comedy movie. I don't know.
So many questions.
So many. Yeah. We need to find out more about this spinning house.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, archaeologists in Israel. They uncovered what they believe is the world's oldest wine factory. 1,500-year-old complex was used to produce wine in huge commercial quantities, with the directors of the excavation calculating that around 2 million liters of wine were made and sold every year from this wine factory.
Wow.
This wine factory existed somewhere between 330 AD, about 300 years after the birth of Jesus Christ, and was in production there until 1453. This is the largest dig going on in Israel right now. They have more than 300 people working on this dig. The directors of the excavation said the site was most likely the main production area for wine in the entire region from Gaza and Ashkelon. The wine would be distributed throughout the entire Mediterranean. It was a prestige product which was liked by many members of the aristocracy during this period. And some amphorae, known as Gaza jars, were discovered intact. Rare Persian wine presses, older than the complex itself, 2,300-year-old wine presses were also found at the site.
That is wild. That's actually pretty dope.
That's pretty cool.
I love history.
2,000 years ago, they were making wine in a factory. You think it's just a guy stopping on some wine
the way they drank wine, I see it every time on every 300 and all the old school.
You see all the gladiator movies. They're always drinking wine,
it's
right?
always wine. I'm like, did they ever drink water? So
maybe not. I don't know if they ever showered back then. They're always dirty.
In wine.
They're always dirty and drinking wine, right?
They are always dirty, drinking wine, and just living life.
I would not have wanted to live that during. I'm happy I'm in this age. Are you happy you're in this age? What the heck did anybody do at night when there were no lights?
Right.
What the heck? All right, it's dark now.
Can't read nothing.
Can't read. You're just sitting in the dark.
So many questions.
A lot of questions. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you just sitting there? That's quick. Are you there? Yes, I told you I'm there 10 times already. Shut up.
Well, actually, it's just, if you really think about it, though, could you imagine not having your cell phone to just walk you down the street because you have no navigation? Yes, I can, because I had to use MapQuest, or I had to read a map.
I could imagine life without a cell phone, because I lived half my life without a cell phone.
Right, but people today, this new generation that they were born with cell phones, they're saying the same thing we're saying about could you imagine no light, because they have never had a life without cell phones. Right. So I'm sure they enjoyed their life just as much as we are enjoying ours. We just can't not go back then.
I don't know, but maybe it would be like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. We just go back in a telephone booth for a day.
Yeah.
We grab Julius Caesar, and bring him back, and interview him here on Bradshaw Live.
That would be crazy.
Boy, all my 80s
that was
movies.
My show.
That was your show? Bill and Ted's
Excellent Adventures.
Right. No way, Ted.
Well, a movie.
It was a movie, yeah. It was a movie.
A couple movies there.
Yeah, they came out with a new one now, but I didn't see the new one.
Is it
recently?
The original cast?
The original cast, yeah. Oh. I think they were dads, Ted and Bill, at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would actually see that.
What was your favorite movie growing up? And that's quickly. I never asked you.
Home Alone.
Really?
That's
Is it the first one in Chicago, or the second one when he's lost in the Plaza Hotel?
Oh, the Plaza Hotel.
Plaza Hotel.
Oh, you're a New Yorker. I'm the first one, Chicago. Original.
They're both coming back very soon. You'll see them soon.
We watch it every Christmas Eve.
All right, let's get to our Braducation. In today's Braducation, I talk about how long an ESTA visa usually lasts and a good rule of thumb when traveling on an ESTA. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward: to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Immigration for Education. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. U.S. immigration law is complex and the regulations are constantly changing. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. Now, there are 39 countries enrolled in the United States Visa Waiver Program that allows citizens of those countries to travel to the United States for tourism and stay for 90 days without a visa with an ESTA, which is the digital travel authorization to the USA you obtain online. The ESTA is not a Live in America visa. It is not a Work in America visa. You have to leave the United States after 90 days. There are no extensions or change of status to the ESTA program. If you're coming to America to marry a United States citizen, to get your green card on an ESTA, you need to overstay, then get married, and then adjust your status. If you do this, you're on your way to getting a green card, provided you're in a bona fide loving marriage. Otherwise, you are getting denied for misrepresentation. But what if I don't want to get a green card? I just want to stay for 90 days and leave. When can I come back? Well, you're a tourist on the ESTA visa. So tourists have permanent residences elsewhere and not in the United States. So you need to be permanently living elsewhere more than in the United States. A good rule of thumb is to stay out of the USA twice as long as you're in the USA on an ESTA. So if you come for 90 days to the USA on an ESTA, stay out 180 days. Now, this is a rule of thumb and is not specific to any particular person. And remember, in most cases, the ESTA lasts up to 2 years after it's granted. All right, meat and potatoes. Let's do it. All right, Samuel in Carteret, New Jersey. How are you?
Hi.
How you doing? I do.
Okay, good. I'm doing good.
What's going on?
So, I'm a U.S. citizen. My sister, she's late now. It's about 3 years ago she passed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Has 3 kids in Nigeria that I'm planning to adopt.
Okay. Where is the father of these children?
The father of the children is in Nigeria too, but since the passing away of their mother, we kind of don't know where he is. He has not been in the children's life.
So these are orphan children now. We have a deceased mom and an abandoned father. Who's raising the children?
My mom, she's in her 70s with my younger sister.
All right.
So I send money every month.
How old are the children?
The oldest, I think, is about 11 years.
Okay.
And the youngest, I think, is about 5 years.
I'm going to tell you something that's going to sound illogical to you, but follow my advice, okay? Because you told me you want to go adopt them. Yes. Don't go adopt them, because if you adopt them in Nigeria, you may have a problem bringing them here. And the reason you may have a problem bringing them here is because in Nigeria, you'll go out into the world, you'll find the father, he'll sign the adoption over to you, and as soon as the father signs over the adoption to you, which is what you would need to get the adoption done in Nigeria, what would happen is these children are no longer orphaned because there was a father involved. And now, when you file for adopted children in Nigeria, where the father signed off on the adoption papers, and there are non-orphans, what happens is you got to prove that you lived in the same home with them for 2 years, and I assume you've never lived in the same home as these children for 2 years, and you'll never get them here. You're going to get frustrated. The kids will get frustrated, and you're going to not be able to do what you want to do. Instead, what you want to do is bring the children to America and adopt them here in America on an orphan petition. And I'm going to tell you how you do that. Okay, you have to go find an accredited social worker organization, and we can help you find somebody if you need, that does two things at the same time. One, they're going to assist you in Nigeria of stripping the father of his parental rights because the father abandoned the children. And number two, they're going to help you in the United States, you're in New Jersey, file what's called a pre-adoption application with a court in New Jersey. And the pre-adoption application, you're basically going to a judge and saying, I've had a social worker come to my home, they've looked at me, they've looked at my family, they've done background checks, we have a nice clean home, I'm going to be a great parent. Would you, if I bring these children into your courtroom in New Jersey, would you sign an adoption order? And the judge would give you a pre-adoption order saying yes. And you take this pre-adoption order with the help of the social worker organization, which is the accredited adoption agency, and you file a I-600 application, which is the orphan petition, and you bring the children over here they would get green cards. You sponsor them. They come here with green cards for the purpose of adopting them. You're not done yet. You would then have to go to the court, do the adoption, and as long as this all happens before they're 18 years old, they would become automatic citizens. That is the way to do it. It would be the fastest, easiest way. And there's no easy way, but that, of all the ways, is the fastest and easiest.
Okay. There's a lot you've just said. Is there any way I could book appointment?
Yes, yes. And you can always reverse what I said and watch it 5 times. You'll get it all. But yes, have an appointment. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's go to Alvin in Panama City, Florida.
Hey, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So, I got a VAWA petition. I filed the I-130, the I-131, the I-485, and the next one.
Yeah. You filed a regular adjustment, but then you said you have a VAWA petition.
Yeah, and the I-765. I filed all of those at once.
You filed an I-360, you're saying, not an I-130.
Yeah, I-1360, yeah.
I-360. All right, so you filed a VAWA with an adjustment. What is your question?
Yeah. So I receive...
what is your question? I don't want to hear any more about forms. Tell me your question.
No, I want to know how long before I get a work
if you okay, you got a receipt notice back?
Yeah, and I got a prima facie.
Okay.
And then
when did you do your biometrics?
I did it September the 30th, last month on the 30th, and it was applied to my case.
All right, so figure about 90 days from September 30th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck. All right, let's go to Rod in Chicago. Rod.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Good, Brad. I just want to say thank you for everything that you're doing for us, first of all.
My pleasure.
So this is my thing. So I'm a U.S. citizen already. So I was raised by my uncle, and he passed away 2 years ago. So I decided to adopt his 7-year-old son.
Right.
So I was granted the adoption by the High Court of Cameroon. So my question is that I want to know if I need to go through the family-based petition process or I need to go through the orphan process.
Well, where's the mother?
The mother is back home in Cameroon.
Okay.
And she has 5 other kids.
Well, unfortunately, you would have to go through the I-130 process. You already did the adoption, and you would have to prove that you lived in the same home as them. That's what I was just telling the other person. All right? The worst thing in the world is to go do the adoption in Cameroon. You need to almost reverse it now and bring the children over as orphans. I don't know if that's still possible yet. You're going to certainly need a consultation, unless you can prove that you lived in the home with them for 2 years. Or you plan on moving back to Africa and living with them for 2 years and then filing for them.
So there's no way I can go through the orphan process?
Not after you did an adoption, because they're no longer orphans. You adopted them. That's the problem. All right? But you're certainly going to need help of a lawyer. I don't know how. We've got to undo it all. All right? I don't have the answer off the top of my head, but we'll figure it out. Hold on. Let's go to Peter in Tacoma, Washington. Hi, Peter.
Hello?
Hi, Peter.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good. I have a few questions to ask you.
Yes.
Yes, so I filed my I-485. I'm a rabbit alien, and I've been burned out. So right now I get a request of evidence about.
You got to just talk a little clearer. You filed an I-45. You're an arriving alien, and what?
And I've been born out.
You were born out. What is that? What is born out?
Yeah, I was not released. I was not released, but I said born.
Are you talking in a speakerphone? Can you pick up your phone, please?
It's not speakerphone,
okay.
But it's my earphone.
It's your earphone. Can you talk through a regular phone? Because I'm not hearing the words. I'm not hearing the words well.
Okay. So can you hear me now?
Now much better. Okay. So you're an arriving alien, and you filed an I-45, and what?
Yes. Before I get out when I come, I be detained. So I paid the bond before.
Oh, you paid the bond. Bond. Okay. I understand. Yeah. Okay. So so basically, what you're saying is you entered the United States, and when you entered, you applied for asylum. They held you and paroled you into the U.S.
Pardon?
What you're saying is you were held at the border, you applied for asylum, and you were paroled into the United States, and you since married an American citizen and filed an adjustment application. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes. So I've been detained for 8 months before I get paid the bond, and I get married, and I filed for I-485.
Okay, I understand. What is your question?
So they asked me to prove I-228 and I-22B to them that I'm really a Arab alien, which I already put everything to my document before I apply for my residence.
Well, I don't. You're an arriving alien, depending on how immigration admitted you to the United States. If you were paroled in, you're an arriving alien. I'm not looking at the documents in front of me. But you're either paroled in or you're not paroled in. So if you want, you could have a consultation, show me your documents. But if you're an arriving alien, you're eligible to adjust. Do you have an attorney working with you?
Yeah, but my attorney did not really know. I called you before, and you tell me, and then I talked to her before she know what to do. So right now,
So why would you? Let me ask you a question, Peter. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Other lawyers may know what they're doing. I told you what to do. And then you went back to your lawyer who didn't know what to do and then hired her to do something she doesn't know what to do. Does that make sense to you? I'm not saying you had to hire me. Don't go hire somebody who didn't know what to do. Hold on. Let's go to Sema in Herndon, Virginia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, my question is, my mom, she has a green card and she wants to sponsor a child which is, she is adopted, and she has a green card and she has residency for 2 years in back home, Pakistan. So I want to know that what documents she can...
When did she adopt this child?
He's going to be 16th this January, so this month she got the letter from the court for the legal guardianship.
Wow, you got it just in time. Did she live with this child for 2 years before she entered America?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did she ever have a legal guardianship of this child?
Right, from the court.
When was the legal guardianship issued to her?
This month.
Okay. So she can't file... What you need when you're doing an adoption abroad, and it's just a straight adoption abroad, okay? We have a lot of adoption questions today. It's odd. You need 3 things: an adoption before 16, you got it. Proof that you lived with this child in the same home for 2 years. You told me you have that. It could be before the adoption. That's fine. And number 3, you have to have a legal guardianship of this child for 2 years. If there is no separate legal guardianship paperwork, then legal guardianship happens on the day of the signed adoption order. So then she would have to wait 2 years from the date of the adoption before filing for this child. Now, the kid will get here 18, 19, assuming ultimately in 3 years she'll be a citizen anyway.
Okay, and his parents is alive, both parents.
That's fine. That's fine. As long as they can prove you lived in the same home, an adoption before 16, and since there's no legal guardianship, she wouldn't be able to file till 2 years from the date of the adoption when he's 18.
Okay, and quick question is, living in the same house, what documents we need to provide to USCIS?
Evidence, school records, affidavits, any sort of financial documentation, anything to show, affidavits from other people to show they lived in the same home.
Okay.
The best is school records, though.
Okay, school record, vaccine record.
Yep. Medical records, those type of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Let's go to Ann in Lagos, Nigeria. All right, calling the +1 212 227 8933. Ann, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, Ann. How are you? How's everything?
Very fine, and you?
Good, good, good. Thank you for watching all the way from Lagos. What time is it there? Must be in the middle of the night.
Yes.
Wow.
And,
what time?
Yeah.
What time is it? Probably
12:30.
12:30.
Yeah, 12:30
Okay.
a.m. Yeah.
All right. So what's your question?
Like I said, my brother cried for his children and wife, 2 kids and wife early this year around April, and still not approved.
When did your brother? You're saying your brother filed for his wife and 2 kids. When did he? When did he do that?
Well, that was around April.
April of this year.
Yes.
And is your brother a resident or a citizen?
A resident.
Okay. So if he filed for his wife and children in April of this year, realistically, it's going to take over a year for the petition to be approved and at least another year or 2 before they get here from Nigeria. It's probably about a 3-year process.
But the question is, the wife has a medical surgery to undergo.
What's the medical surgery?
I think it has to do with a prosthetic.
A prosthetic, wow. Okay. So what would have to happen is 2 things. Okay. One is you can request a humanitarian expedite for her to come get medical treatment here. You would also need to be able to show that the husband has health insurance to be able to pay for all of this, and hopefully a doctor who's willing to take on her case. And if you have all 3, that would be a pretty good humanitarian expedite.
Is there any way you can contact you for this?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, okay? Let's go to Sari in Louisville. Hi, Sari.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. I got issues with my. I was married with a U.S. citizen, and we put our application for the green card. So when I go to the interview, they say they found like when I was file my visa, they say I was put married on the visa, so they not gonna be able to continue the interview until I can prove them.
Is that true?
Is
that true? You said you were married when you got your visa.
No, it's not. It was not true. But the application from the visa was put married on the visa.
Who put married on the visa? Somebody did.
Who was helping me to file on the application?
All right. So here's a good lesson. Somebody who helps you file an application, if they lie on your behalf, you've lied. You don't get to say, unfortunately, you don't get to say because somebody else lied on my behalf, don't blame me. That doesn't work that way. If somebody did an application on your behalf, whether you knew it or not, and they lied on your behalf to get you the visa, then you're on the hook for it. Now, the reason why they say you're married is it's more likely to get a visa if you're married, if you're leaving a wife behind, than if you're a single man. That's why they do it. Now, you came here to the United States, you got married, so now immigration believes you're a bigamist. You're married in Africa or wherever you're from, and where are you from?
Yeah, Senegal.
Senegal, yeah, I thought it was somewhere. Okay, so you're married in Senegal, and you're married in the United States. They think you're married to 2 different places. So there is somewhere in Senegal a government office that does it. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but we could look it up. There is a government office that would do a search of marriages throughout Senegal and give you a letter saying that there's no record of any marriage between you and any woman from the time of the beginning of Earth to the present in Senegal. And you bring this letter.
Yeah,
letter. Let me finish. And then you bring this letter to immigration, and you say, "Look, see, I'm not married. This is the woman I'm married to here in America. It's a legal marriage." And they'll say, "Great. Now you're denied for misrepresentation." And then you have to file a waiver based on hardship to your wife. That's going to be the process.
Yes, I already did that because they was telling me I have to bring proof before 30 days, and I was bringing the letter from my country to let them know I never married.
So where are you now?
I'm still in the United States.
I know you're in the United States. I mean, where are you now in terms of your case?
So they still deny it.
Because you need to do a waiver for misrepresentation.
Yeah, but my excuse is when they deny it, my wife, when we was interviewed, she found that my application for a visa was say might. She still believe I might on Africa, so it's making me trouble with her. So she's not gonna be signed for the waiver.
All right, so now your marriage broke up.
What I can do.
So now your marriage broke up.
Huh?
Your marriage broke up. You broke up your marriage. If your wife won't help you, then the answer is get divorced and fall in love again. You can't force your wife to do anything. Make up, bring flowers. Say, "I'm sorry, honey. I don't know your wife. You know what makes her happy. Try to do something to gain her trust back." But I mean, if it's denied, it's denied. What do you want me to do?
My question is something I can put waiver by my name because the misrepresentation.
No, the waiver is based on hardship to your wife. So it's not even just sign a paper. Mm-hmm. You have to prove that she's going to suffer hardship. She doesn't even care about you right now. She won't even sign it. So even if you say, "Okay, sign the paper," big deal. It's still going to be denied. She doesn't care anything about you anymore because you screwed up. So either fix it or get a divorce and fall in love again. Those are your options. Hold on. Let's go to Abdi in Snellville, Georgia.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
First of all, I would like to thank you what you're doing for for the immigrant community.
Thank you.
And I love to watch your show.
Thank you very much.
I have a pending I-751 case, and I applied it in July 2016, and it is pending still to date. Now my USCI status changed to interview scheduled. My spouse does not want to stay with me, and she said she wants to divorce, and I filed the divorce in April 2021, and the divorce is pending too. But my interview has been scheduled, but I didn't get any letter. My spouse is not willing to accompany. Can I go alone to attend the interview?
Yeah, you go alone, bring the divorce, request in writing that you want to convert your joint application to a waiver of the joint application based on a bona fide marriage that is getting divorced. You'll bring all your evidence and prove it was a real marriage. You don't have to prove it was a real marriage today anymore because you're no longer with your wife. It was a real marriage before the divorce started. And here's my divorce, and I want to convert the case, and here's my proof that it was a real marriage. Nobody says you have to stay in an unhappy marriage to keep your green card. And then what'll happen is the officer will say, "Okay, I believe it was a bona fide marriage. We're going to give you 120 days to complete the divorce. Bring me back the final divorce." And hopefully the divorce is completed in 120 days. You bring it back to them, and you get your 10-year card.
Got it. Thank you. So divorce is not finalized yet, so I have to. Yeah.
You go with proof that it's pending. They'll give you 120 days. You have to ask in writing to convert the case to a waiver case.
All right, Mr. Brand. Thank you so much.
Right,
I'll talk to you definitely.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Let's go to Frank in Fort Myers, Florida. Frank. Going once, Frank. Frankly, you're going to go twice. And frankly, Frank is done. We'll try to get back to Frank. Tia in Baltimore. Tia.
Hi.
Hi, Tia. How are you?
Hi, Brad. Good night. First of all, I would love to tell you thanks for all the wonderful work you're doing.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I have two questions here. So I got a request for my I-130 for initial evidence. Recently, I got an update on my case saying that it's been scheduled for an interview. Do I still need to send in the RFE that they request for it?
What was the RFE?
They wanted photographs.
Yes, if they're asked for an RFE, please respond to it.
Okay. So secondly, my I-864, it is on it. It's stated that my children are for intended to migrate.
Right.
So at what point do I do a separate I-130 for them?
This is based on marriage to a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are your children?
One is 22, one is 7, one is 9.
So the 7 and 9 you do right now.
Uh-huh.
And the 22-year-old you're going to file for after you get your green card. I assume you got married, in the last year or two, right?
Pardon?
When did you get married?
In 2017.
How old was the 22-year-old in 2017?
She was
At the time of marriage?
About 19.
Oh, she was over 18. Okay. So,
Yes.
all right. So your husband's going to file an I-130 for the 2 younger kids right now. You do it now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to
Okay.
wait for you to finish.
Okay.
The 22-year-old's out of luck, unfortunately. After you get your green card, you're going to file for the 22-year-old.
Okay. Thank you, Brad.
You're welcome. Good luck. Let's go to Sam in Dallas. Sam.
Hey, Brad. How are
Hi,
you?
Sam. How are you?
Very good. Okay, I have a question here. I am currently into removal proceedings for my asylum case, and I already had one in-person court hearing with the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I also do have a U visa pending case of 2018, which I haven't received any bona fide work permit or anything under that because they're currently working on 2017 case, I guess. In the court hearing, I was told by the DHS officer that he will look for any kind of prosecutorial discretion for me in the next hearing.
I was about to say you should request prosecutorial discretion for the U visa to complete. I wouldn't move forward on the asylum case unless you have a really strong case, and most likely you
so
don't.
I have been
And most
given
likely-
one more.
Yeah, do the prosecutorial discretion. They should just mark it off the calendar until the U visa is up. That's the new rules, so that's what they should do.
Yes, but the judge says you have. I cannot wait for 5 to 7 years for your U visa to come. I have a lot of cases pending.
I understand that, but you still should be eligible for prosecutorial discretion. Hold on one
So
second.
that
You
will-
need help. Hold on. Let's go to Frank in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yes, Mr. Brett. My mom, she's a green card holder. She filed I-130 for my brother, who was under 21. But now the case has been documentally complete at the Visa Center since March 2020.
Where is this child?
In Haiti.
In Haiti. That's the problem. Okay. So, and you still haven't gotten any appointment or anything. How old is the kid?
Now he's 23 now.
23 now. And when did your mom file for this child?
Yeah, it was January 9, 2017, and the case was approved on November 13, 2019.
Yeah, unfortunately, the child aged out, even under the Child Status Protection Act. So they're now in the F2B category, and probably will have to wait another year or two as a result. Sadly.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I cannot do mandamus.
You can't blame the pandemic. If the child was aging out under the F2A category, you needed to do something before they're 21.
Oh.
I mean, you could always contact me, and I could take a look to see if the child's still under Child Status Protection Act, and then contact the National Visa Center and the embassy. But it sounds, based on what you're telling me, the child aged out. But I would take a look at everything just to double
So
check.
even though the case was pending at the USCIS for 2 years and 11 months.
Well, you told me it got approved very quickly. That's why I said
No.
That's why I said
No, no.
That's why I said let me look at the paperwork, and I can calculate. I can't calculate it unless I look at the paperwork.
Yes. Okay. So USCIS take 2 years to approve the case.
Okay. So if it took them 2 years to approve the case.
Yes.
And you paid the fees within 1 year of the approval, and the child was an F2A when you paid the fees, the child still should be under Child Status Protection Act. So in that situation, then maybe we can help you. But I don't know. I would have to actually look at all the paperwork and figure it out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Let's go to Fareed in Alexandria, Virginia.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Fareed.
Yes, 2014 August, I entered the United States with the tourist visa, and then I overstayed, and I applied for asylum 1 year. After 1 year, I got all my documents and everything.
Where you from?
I'm from Azerbaijan.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I had my family in my country, and because of long stay, we divorced. And 2018, my wife and my daughter, they got DV lottery green card, and they moved to United States.
Right.
So we remarried again, and in 2020, I got a letter from USAID saying that I missed my interview, which is I never got the interview date.
Interview.
So they give me a court date.
Interview where?
For asylum.
Oh, for asylum. Okay.
For asylum.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they gave me a court date that I'm in removal proceeding because I overstayed in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 2023, this December, there's this court date. And so I married to my wife. She is a permanent resident now, and I have 7-year-old daughter. So we just filed, like 1 month ago, we filed I-130 petition.
Right.
So what we have to do, like...
When did your wife get her green card?
2018.
When?
2018 March.
Okay. All right. So here's the good news. All right. Your master calendar hearing is not till 2023. In January 2023, your wife is eligible to file for her citizenship. Maybe even in December 2022. If you show up with an I-130 pending and your wife is a pending naturalization, you will get prosecutorial discretion for sure, and you will ultimately be eligible to adjust your status, so you'll be fine. Just have to wait out your wife to become a citizen.
Okay, so if she's not citizen but the permanent resident, so I'm not getting my green card, right?
Correct. But because your master calendar is March of 2023, your wife will already have a pending naturalization, most likely 4 months if she's really quick to do it. The judge isn't going to order you deported in March. They'll postpone your case. They'll give you prosecutorial discretion. You'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Brad.
Okay. Good luck. Let's go to Mike in Miami. Mike.
Yes, hello?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. I have a question. I'm a U.S. citizen, right? And my girlfriend, she entered the United States illegally, but she has TPS right now. What are my options?
You're a U.S. citizen. Your girlfriend entered illegally, and she has TPS.
Yes.
Okay. So.
And I plan on marrying her. How can I adjust her status after we get married?
You can't adjust her status unless you're in the military or former military. People who had TPS who traveled on advanced parole before April 2020 are eligible to adjust. Did she ever have advanced parole?
No.
Okay.
She recently got it under this. She's from Haiti. She recently got it under this TPS.
All right. So you would have to file an I-130 visa petition for her. She would have to do a provisional waiver to waive her unlawful presence after the I-130 is approved, which would be the reason why she would get stuck if she had to leave the country. Get the provisional waiver approved, process her to go back to Port-au-Prince. She'll go back to Haiti for a week or two, process for her green card, and return to the United States with her green card. That would be the process.
Okay. Okay. How long would that process take?
It's about over a year for an I-130, over a year for a provisional waiver, and then the visa processing, and who knows how long Haiti. You got to figure more than 2 years, less than 3. Hopefully.
Okay. All right.
Okay, somewhere there.
Much.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Daniel in Baltimore. Hi, Daniel.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Hi, Brad. Thanks for the good job you're doing.
Pleasure.
You're really enlightening us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I got a quick one. I call in like a couple of weeks ago about a DUI, VAWA, and removal. Now the DUI was able to get a PBJ, like I discussed with you, and right now I got the removal proceeding in a couple of weeks. What should be my expectation with my VAWA and my removal proceeding?
If you have a VAWA, you should be filing an adjustment application before the judge to adjust your status, even with the pending VAWA.
I have the adjustment submitted.
So then the judge has to postpone your case, waiting on the conclusion of it.
Oh yeah. All right.
All right. Good luck.
And how long will this take now from the judge right now? Like, how long am I looking at to get a green card?
When did you file the VAWA?
The VAWA was last year, July last year.
Probably another 18 months.
18 months?
Yeah.
But after the judge, can I get a parole to travel, advance parole on my...
Theoretically, yes, because you haven't been ordered deported, but I wouldn't risk traveling on advance parole while you're in deportation.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. All right. And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, you could always follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. You follow me on Instagram at RealBradBernstein. You could drop me a DM, a direct message for those who don't know the lingo. Everybody knows what a DM is, right?
Yeah.
Who doesn't? I didn't know what CAP was.
I feel like someone might not know DM.
I didn't know what CAP was.
And you do now.
Now I do. You can drop me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your immigration questions. You can also follow us at Bradshaw Live. You follow us at Bradshaw Live on Instagram. You can't handle 2 hours, but you can handle 2 minutes. Follow us at Bradshaw Live on Instagram. And, of course, follow us on our fastest-growing social media platform, TikTok, which I've not been on in a couple days. Been very, very busy.
Been busy.
But TikTok, people, I'm coming back. I promise you. Follow us on TikTok at Bradshaw Live. And, Yonathan?
Yep, you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And after we check in with social media, later in the show, Yonathan will be out on the street putting unsuspecting people to the test in a game of Hispanic Heritage Month Trivia. I don't think it's unsuspecting. It's not like you snuck up on them, right?
I didn't.
You asked them. You asked them to do it. They were suspecting.
Yes.
They were suspecting this game. You'll want to stick around and watch and test your own knowledge.
Yes, and in this edition of TikTok Time, Brad answers Antia Tay's 26 question about what to expect at their upcoming citizenship interview.
Expect to go through your entire naturalization application. This is where any issues of good moral character, you have criminal records, prior arrests, issues with selective service, bring your tax returns. They want to make sure that you've paid your taxes and filed your taxes. Unless, of course, you weren't working, then you'll have to explain how you supported yourself. Then at that point, they may ask you some questions about how you got your green card. They want to make sure there was no fraud in the green card application. And thereafter, you'll take your government and civics test. They'll ask you to read and write English to make sure that you can read and write English. You pass the government civics test, and then they will say congratulations. You will get a notice to be sworn in shortly thereafter. Good luck. All right, Yo-Yo and Vanessa have been scouring. Let's see what they got on social media.
All right, first comes from Akif Varani, Brad Squad VIP member, saying, do you think Plan C will pass, and can you speak more about the plan with the benefits?
I don't know what plan with benefits, but Plan C would be basically overriding the parliamentarian. It's a political thing. We don't know. We haven't heard a lot about it. There's a lot of experts saying the Democrats can do it. I can tell you if they don't, they're going to be in a lot of trouble with a lot of people and the voters. So keep your fingers crossed. Let's see.
Marianne Azavic, Brad Squad VIP member. What does request of evidence mean? I filed for an I-765 renewal 7.5 months ago.
Request for evidence means that they need additional documentation that you didn't submit with the original application.
Sarah J. Lawrence Seram, a Brad Squad VIP member. What's the current timeline like for an adjustment of status?
For a marriage, it's about a year, depending on what state you're in.
Latoya Laddie, Brad Squad VIP. When will the Jamaican Embassy be open for business?
I don't know.
Crystal Perry, Brad Squad VIP member. Should I file my adjustment of status before sending in my other documents?
No, file all your documents with your adjustments simultaneously.
Chatan Tande on YouTube. Can I file an I-485 application if my 03 extension is pending and I-94 is expired?
Yes, but you still got to get the 03 approved. Don't forget that.
Daily Wiser on YouTube. My asylum case was referred to the court due to material inconsistencies. Will it be treated as a brand new case, or will it depend on the asylum officer's notes? The applicant has some mental issues.
It'll be a new case, but it's got to be consistent.
Ginger Juice on YouTube. How long does an I-612 waiver for a J1 take based on hardship to U.S. citizen spouse? I filed in July this year.
Well, you would file the waiver with the adjustment, and then they got to adjudicate it after you go for your interview. It'll take longer than to juice some ginger, I guess, right?
Ginger juice, yeah.
Right? It'll take longer than a juicer. You know, each case is different. Sometimes it's approved on the spot. Sometimes it's approved several weeks later. Sometimes you may not hear for a year.
KNS Natural on YouTube. My case has reached NVC, but is not yet eligible for a visa. Priority date is March 2018. It is for my unmarried daughter over 21, class F1. What's the time frame for a visa appointment?
What's the priority date?
It is March 2018.
You got at least 2 or 3 more years.
Leslie Benoit on YouTube. If I have been divorced from my wife for more than 2 years, will I be eligible for VAWA cancellation of removal? The divorce happened because of abuse.
You may be eligible for cancellation, but you're not eligible for the VAWA.
Kongwa Endahas Uba on Facebook. I applied for citizenship on April 19th, 2020, and I still haven't received an answer. Can I reapply or not?
No, just wait. 2020?
Yes, April 19th. Applied for citizenship, April 19th.
Well, you may want to do a mandamus at some point.
Okay, this one's a little lengthy from Anthony Flomo on Facebook. I was married to a U.S. citizen and got my 2-year conditional green card. We jointly filed an I-751 for my 10-year green card before my 2-year green card expired, and they gave me an extension. My wife filed for divorce while this application was pending, so I did an I-751 waiver after the divorce. They gave me a stamp in my passport while my I-751 waiver is pending. I am traveling to the United Kingdom to see my sick mother. Will I face any problems re-entering the U.S. with just the stamp in my passport?
No, the stamp is an I-551 stamp, presumably, and that's a temporary green card. And, I would say enjoy your trip, but I'm sorry about your mother.
Okay, CE User on YouTube. Can a TN visa holder have dual intent?
No. You cannot have. So in other words, a TN visa has to have the intent of returning to Canada or Mexico, depending on where they're from. So you can't come on a TN visa, for example. It's like coming on a visitor's visa and then getting married the next day and adjusting your status. That's misrepresentation.
Yes.
A TN visa can change to an H-1B, and that has a dual intent.
Natasha Baburam on YouTube. I received my approval letter over 45 days ago and still haven't received my green card. What should I do?
Wait for the mailman to come tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be there.
And last one, Darsh Singh on Facebook. For undocumented immigrants that collected the pandemic funds available last month, will this come up in their immigration cases?
No. All right. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, Yonathan went out on the street to test suspecting passersby about their knowledge of some trivia about the holiday and Hispanic culture. Let's see how the players did, and let's see how we all do. Let's play along.
What's up, Brad Squad? It's your boy Yonathan Elliott out here in the streets of New York. Now on Brad Show Live, we're known to celebrate All Heritage Month, but this month is super special because it's Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm right out here ready to test people's knowledge on Hispanic Heritage Trivia. Okay, let's go. Vamos a jugar Hispanic Heritage Month Trivialidades. Woo!
All right. How you doing?
Fine. Okay, what's your name and where you from?
Norman, I'm from by the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh, okay. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Carlos.
And where are you from?
My from is Ecuador.
Ecuador, okay. What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Uvia. I am from Azerbaijan.
Okay, I just found out where that is. Tell them where that's at.
It is in between Iran and Russia.
I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay, so are you ready to play?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. When was the first time Hispanic Heritage Month was celebrated in the United States? Is it A, 1968, B, 1978, C, 1988, D, 1998?
1968.
I would say C, 98, 88, 88.
88.
Is that right?
Ding, 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 you got that.
Wow, lucky guess.
I love it.
C?
She's right, you got it. Okay, we starting off good. Beginning in 1968, Hispanic Heritage Month was originally observed as Hispanic Heritage Week. Under President Lyndon Johnson, was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting in September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into law on August 17th, 1988 on the approval of Public Law 100-402. Okay, Hispanic Heritage Month starts on September 15th in part because it coincides with the independence date of what countries? Is it A, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Guatemala? B, Honduras and Nicaragua? C, Mexico and Chile? D, all of the above?
I'd say C.
Mexico.
All of them might.
Yes, it is. There we go. Oh, she might get 100, y'all. September 15th was the selected date because it was the anniversary of the independence of 5 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Plus, Mexico's independence date is September 16th, and Chile's is September 18th. Independencia. Okay. How large was the self-described U.S. Hispanic population as of 2020? Is it A, 42.5 million, B, 51.5 million, C, 62.1 million, D, 132 million?
D?
132 million.
I would say C.
Wow, you are killing it. It is C. How are you feeling?
Good. Yeah. Do I get a prize for this if I get a certain amount right? No.
You're going to get a great job.
A job?
No, great job. That's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to say great job.
I'm retired. I don't want a job. Okay.
According to the Pew Research Center, there were an estimated of 62.1 million Hispanic people in the United States, comprising 19% of the population as of 2020. That's up from 50.5 million in 2010. And a fun fact, an estimated 41,757,391 U.S. residents, or 13.5% of the population, speak Spanish at home. Now, the most famous Spanish dance, okay, it includes guitar, singing, dancing, hand clapping, and snapping. Now, what's it called? Is it bolero, tango, flamenco, or salsa?
Bolero.
Salsa?
C.
Woo!
That was easy.
That was an easy one. Can you salsa though? Look. Don't be shy. Yeah. As a celebration to Hispanic Heritage Month, one of the most well-known style of dance that's performed is flamenco, a beautiful and passionate art form that originated in Andalusia within nomadic communities and includes a mix of guitar, singing, dancing, hand clapping, and finger snapping. Who's the first Hispanic woman to win a Grammy? Is it A, Rita Moreno, B, Selena, C, Jennifer Lopez, D, Celia Cruz?
Jennifer Lopez?
Rita Moreno.
Yes, you knew that. He knew that.
Rita Moreno. No?
Yes, you are correct. That's yeah. Rita Moreno was the first Hispanic woman to win a Grammy in 1972 for her work on the music of the children's educated series, The Electric Company. Fun fact, Rita Moreno is the first and only Hispanic woman to win an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award, becoming an EGOT elite member with big names including Audrey Hepburn, Mel Brooks, and my favorite, Whoopi Goldberg. Which of the following did Mexico contribute to the world's spice cabinet? So the spice that comes from Mexico. Is it A, vanilla, B, chili powder, C, za'atar, D, cinnamon?
Za'atar.
Is it A?
Powder?
Oh, I don't know that one. Chili pepper, I would think.
I would think that too, but it's actually vanilla.
Okay.
See? So now we're learning together.
Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, very good.
The vanilla orchid originated in Mexico and for centuries was the exclusive secret of the native Totonic Indians who were later conquered by the Aztecs. When the Aztec Empire fell to Hernan Cortes, vanilla pods were brought to Spain and then later universally, introducing vanilla to the rest of the world. Okay, there are more than 1 million Hispanic residents in how many U.S. states? Is it A, 8, B, 12, C, 18, D, 25?
It must be 25.
18.
I would say 25.
It is actually 12.
That's all?
That's it, right?
Oh, they're not doing their job.
We need more.
12 U.S. states, according to the census: Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Texas all have a Hispanic population of more than 1 million.
Okay, what percentage of Latinos living in the country are U.S. citizens? Is it A, 25%, B, 40%, C, 60%, D, 80%?
I'd say 40%.
40?
80%.
Yes, you know it. You're the first one. Good job.
Yeah, okay.
Pew Research Center says 4 in 5 Latinos are citizens. That's right, 80% as of 2019, up from 74% in 2010. This includes people born in the U.S. and its territories, including Puerto Rico, people born abroad to American parents, and immigrants who have become naturalized citizens.
Okay, last one. Which holiday commemorates Mexico's victory over the France at the Battle of Puebla? Is it A, Independence Day, Dia de la Independencia? Is it B, Cinco de Mayo? C, Day of the Dead? D, Mexican Revolution?
D, Mexican Revolution.
Cinco de Mayo.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
B.
There you go. Killed it. Killed it. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what was it? What grade did I get? Did I pass?
You definitely passed. Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Batalla de Puebla, a military victory in the war against France on May 5th, 1862, in which General Ignacio Zaragoza led Mexican forces to victory against the French army. Among Mexicans in the United States, the holiday has taken on a new significance, becoming a day to celebrate Mexican-American identity. We love Cinco de Mayo. All right, well, there you have it. I had a blast playing. I hope that you guys learned something, because I definitely did. Hispanic Heritage Month. We are celebrating for all of y'all, all right? And we had so much fun. I hope you did too. Back to the studio.
All right, 9 immigration questions in 50 seconds. All right, Vanessa, you ready?
Ready?
Let's go.
Can I travel in the U.S. while in removal proceedings?
Yes.
Can I travel somewhere other than my home country while with advance parole?
Yes.
What documents should I file to apply for a travel document based on TPS?
I-131 advance parole and proof you have TPS.
Can a crime of moral turpitude lead to a VAWA case denial?
Yes, because you have to have good moral character.
How long does it take to get an EAD after biometrics?
About 90 to 120 days.
Should I return to stimulus money I received for the
No.
period I had?
No.
in
How long does an I-601A waiver take for approval?
Over a year.
How soon can a U.S. citizen file an I-130 for his spouse after marriage?
The next day.
Can I extend an EAD card when it expires?
As long as you have a pending adjustment.
Woohoo!
That was... How calm was I?
Wow. Wow.
How calm was I?
You were.
I was very calm. I'm still not going to dance. Just smile.
We're the dancing ones.
I'll just smile.
Oh, a little shoulder. A little shoulder action.
You like that? I just did the shoulder.
Okay.
How soon? I always answer that. Like, I answer that one in my head every time. How soon can a U.S. citizen file for an I-130 after?
The answer's next day. How many times will we answer that? All right. All right, comments of the day. That'll be funny is if you ask the question and answer it, and I go, correct!
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah. All right, comments of the day.
Oh, okay. First comment
there we
of the
go.
day. Carol Anderson the Tiger saying, my American dream is for this pandemic to end very soon and everyone get back to normal. I agree.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Our next one is a special one.
This is what you be waiting for. We all wait for it.
Oh, yes, coming from Jeremy Goldberg, our Poetry Thursday, saying, Brad Bernstein is your immigration guru. He always comes through because immigration law is within his purview. So call him today and thank you.
Okay. Not as good as last week. He was like had a love poem for Vanessa.
Oh.
Why? When he makes the love poem for Vanessa, that was a great one.
And maybe he's just a lover.
Yeah, maybe he is. I mean, this one was okay. It was good. Wasn't like the love poem for Vanessa last week, though. All right, but bravo. Bravo,
I still give it to you,
Bravo,
J. Rhymes.
nevertheless, J. Rhymes.
And our last comment of the day. Carlene saying, a pleasant evening to the Brad Squad team. Thanks for all the knowledgeable information that you've blessed us with nightly. May God continue to bless you always.
Thank you very much. We appreciate all of that.
Yes.
And thank you all for watching. We'll be back, I guess, Monday.
Yep.
Have a great weekend. See you soon. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?